first gas tank of the road trip. Only about 20 or so more to go. Ended up staying in just a quiet residential neighborhood last night in Orange County. It worked out and I slept pretty well. And now I'm heading over to This is actually the first time I've ever been to Huntington Beach. I've never taken the time to come down here before, but it's a pretty cool place. This event's the Vans US Open of Surfing. I think it's the largest event on the WQS, the qualifying series of the WSL, the World Surfing League. It's a lot of acronyms. Thank you to Susan Marie for suggesting that I come check this out in the comments. I've never been to a surf contest of this magnitude before, so it's been pretty cool to check it out and kind of see how they put everything on. It was also kind of cool to see people get exposed to surfing for the first time. It seemed like there were a lot of people from out of town that were there, and that was like the first time they'd ever seen a surf contest or anything like that. I ended up explaining like how the scoring worked and how the contest kind of worked to a couple of different people who were curious about surfing, and like I said, it was like their first exposure to the sport. It was pretty cool seeing the whole thing narrated as well. There was a huge crowd on the beach, and whenever someone would boost like a big air or do a big turn or something like that, everyone would go crazy. It was neat to be a part of that. Huntington Beach was surprisingly laid back. I mean, yeah, there were a lot of people there, but I think I was kind of expecting it to be a lot more like Santa Monica, which is just completely crazy and insane and there's people everywhere. This was a little bit more relaxed. I did notice that there were a lot of signs that had a lot of rules on them, a lot of things that I've never seen before, like no skateboarding, no rollerblading, all sorts of local city ordinances, so I thought that was pretty interesting. So now I'm heading up to Los Angeles, but I've got to make a quick pit stop kind of on the way. It's a little bit out of the way on my way up there. I know I mentioned yesterday about how I've got this solar panel here sitting in the front seat. I've been waiting for the manufacturer to get back to me. Renogy is the manufacturer of the solar panel, and I finally heard back from them today. They did accept my request to process the entire return. I do lose a little bit for like a restocking fee. I think like a certain percentage of the total value of the panel, but I'm able to return it. But the problem is, in addition to losing that restocking fee, I'd also have to ship the panel back to them, and shipping a big box like that would not be cheap no matter what carrier you use. So I instead decided to drive to Renogy's international headquarters and bring it back to them that way. Their headquarters is in Ontario, California, so it's not too far outside of Los Angeles. It really wasn't that far out of the way. I figure it was probably more worth just spending 2 or 3 gallons of gas to get out here and then back to LA. Just had to go from the 39 to the 22 to the 5 to the 605 to the 60, and then I was there.
And they taught me how to clean fuels there, and then they sent me out into the world. They put me on the 5 and then the 73 to where it connects to the 405 at Fountain Valley. high
than it was to try to ship it for however much money that would have costed. I know a lot of folks suggested that I just hang on to that panel and use it as a spare, but there was no way that I was gonna fit that thing underneath the seat with the other panel. I don't even know if it would have fit without the other panel under there. It was pretty good size. The rigid panel was pretty big. The idea of trying to figure out a way to mount that rigid panel to the roof rack was a good idea, but it's just something that I don't really have the time to do right now. I thought about trying to do a custom roof rack with metal from Home Depot a while back before I left New Orleans and trying to figure out the solar issue then, and I just kind of decided against it because it was too expensive to build the rack and it was going to take too much time and be too difficult to safely secure it to the roof. I'll just stick with the foldable solar system right now and hope that it doesn't catch on fire anytime soon. On a side note, this place was pretty cool to check out. They had a whole bunch of like new products and like future products on display in there. It was pretty cool to see that. Back on the road to LA. Google Maps actually says it's only going to take about an hour or so to get there. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than that. I guess maybe it's because I'm going in the opposite direction of the flow of traffic for rush hour. I made it to Los Angeles. Google Maps did accidentally reroute me and take me to like a different part of town that I wasn't even trying to go to, like a completely different neighborhood. It was only about 15 minutes away, but it was weird because I definitely did not authorize Google Maps to do that, or if I did, I guess I just did it accidentally, and it just added it as like a pit stop, so it was like A, B, C instead of just A, B. I don't know, it was kind of weird. I'm planning to hang out here with one of my good friends tonight and probably tomorrow as well, and then after that start making my way north towards San Francisco. I do have one new Patreon pledge to thank, Josh White. Thanks so much for joining the Patreon team. Your support will help keep this journey alive. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to y'all in the next video.